everyone. It's time for the Hub City Film Festival filmmaker panels for filmmakers in Jackson. That's a mouthful. So allow me to introduce the panelists. First, we have Shelby Tyre. Next, we have Rachel Camp. Next, Canyon House. Next up, Randall Kendrick. And last but definitely not least, Jaron Lockridge.
Welcome in, bro.
Thank you all so much for coming out for the film festival and for the filmmaker panels. Thank you all so much. So the first question that I have that I sort of think a lot of people may be wondering is, what has it been like as a filmmaker in this community? Sort.
Are we just doing like a one-by-one thing?
Oh yeah.
Like, okay. Go first.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I think you deserve it, bro.
Yeah, that was you.
Well, first of all, I don't know if everybody knows everyone, right? If we want to introduce ourselves and talk
Yeah, that
about
may
what
actually
we
be
do.
better. Yeah. So let's start with Jaron. Jaron, introduce yourself to the audience.
First, I'm glad to be here. My name is Jaron Lockridge. I am owner of Misguided Perceptions Media Group. I'm a local filmmaker here, and been in this film thing for just a little over 10 years. So.
Nice.
Awesome work, man. My name is Randall Kendrick. I am the director of Death Reigns, which just showed, and then my last film, The Still Garden, which was about the minefield down in Brownsville. And so, yeah.
Okay. My name is Cameron House. I am the owner of Sunrise Media. Thank you. Yeah.
Rachel Camp. I teach digital media and film studies over at Union University, I think it is. Part of my work as well is just pursuing projects and making a lot of short films in my spare time. Right now I'm working on a documentary and the first feature. So anyway, so I have questions for you, Jaron.
Exciting.
Oh yeah, I'm Shelby. I run the film festival and the Real Collective. Yeah.
So yeah, back to the first question is, what has it been like being a filmmaker in this community? You know, Jackson is very much a smaller city compared to where all the other film industry is. So what has it been like being a filmmaker here? Whoever wants to take it first.
I would say, as far as my experience, it has grown a lot because when I first began, like 2015 or so, it was hard finding a lot of people who were serious about filmmaking. I believe a lot of people didn't realize that it was here. So you still had that thought that you had to go Nashville or something to get involved in film. And since then, it's grown. We got more filmmakers here. And I believe we have a nice and healthy community here in Jackson.
Go for it.
I guess we're going down the line. For me, it's been interesting. I started my stuff during the pandemic. And that was right after I graduated college. So I don't know. I just kind of, he's sort of like in a different ballpark. This is the first time we've been in the same room together, but your stuff is great. I've just been kind of like worming my way around, looking under rocks and finding stuff people don't usually look at, being like, oh, this is interesting, and then making stuff about that. But that has allowed me to connect with people down here that I never knew existed, or that I knew existed but never thought I would get this close to. And so for me, it's been very personally rewarding to make films in this community, which is not something I thought I would say 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I'm going to be honest, I kind of hated this place. And I thought I was like an oddball. But in making The Still Garden and Death Reigns, I realized that I'm not. And, in conjunction, with the help of other people like Zach and Raven, who've paved the way for an alt scene here, we've sort of made a space for us down here. And so making the little documentaries that I have has been just personally rewarding for me here in this community.
Wow, I find it interesting. Like all of us been filming for 10 years. That's kind of weird, but cool at the same time.
For me, it's only been like 5.
Okay.
So
fair,
I said 10 years ago,
fair,
but it's
fair,
only
fair,
been
fair.
like 5.
Okay. I just kind of want to start off by what he said. I've been filming for a little over 10 years as well. And so whenever I started seeing your work and stuff too, which I thought was amazing. It's like, yes, not just filmers, but Black filmers, yes, more. And, it's cool because like when I first got started, I focused more just on like commercials, ads and stuff like that, which is cool, it pays. But, I've always been a super nerd of storytelling. So it's like, okay, what can I do and what can I see from other people to help tell their stories more? And it's cool because like you said, 10 years ago, you really didn't see a lot of people doing this. Like if you did, it was mainly because they were preparing for something, like you said, in Memphis or Nashville. It wasn't really anything here. And it's just funny because now it's like from the short films and the advertisements, it's like you get to see so many different career choice paths and just seeing how passionate these people are. And it's like, okay, now that I know that you love home improvement, how can I turn that into a short film? And it's cool. It's cool to like bridge the gap because some of these people, they don't know how to talk like this. They don't know how to express themselves. And so they find people like us to help tell their stories. And so that's been a true honor because like he said as well, I've been here my whole life. I used to call Jackson Waxon for a long time, but not anymore because now I'm realizing that, it's up to the people for this city to make a message, not the outside.
Yeah, I'd say, I guess if I'm really going to put a timestamp on it, I think I've been making films in Jackson for, hold on, it's more than that. It's actually more. If I'm counting my first like undergrad experience, like first year as a freshman at Union, because I went to Union as well for my undergrad, math. Like
We're majors, we don't do that.
We don't. Like 19 years?
That's awesome.
That
Wow.
sounds right. So
You the OG.
yeah, I mean, I was out here a little baby trying. I'm like running around with my little camera downtown. I don't know if this is like a good reference for Jackson, but like I met cousin Toonie and she just talked to me because I was holding the camera and she was, may she rest in peace. She was really cool. But anyway, I've been trying to, what's been really amazing is like my experience has just been support. So like everybody gets excited and that's what I've really like loved. And where was Botto's in this area? That was another undergrad thing.
I think it was right around here, yeah.
Oh, is it this building?
It's next door.
Okay.
Next door.
Okay, next door. Okay, anyway, so it's like in the, but like I shot one of my projects as an undergrad there, and she just like gave us food. Like I had to, like I wasn't prepared. I didn't bring props. Like I didn't know how to make a shot list or like do a breakdown of a sheet to like get, props and stuff like that. And then I was like, and I think she'd closed the restaurant from like lunch, and then there was like 3 hours we could shoot, and then there was dinner. And she just let us come in and take over and move things around. And then I was like, can someone I didn't bring food. Can y'all make us something? Which, looking back, it's like, what a ridiculous thing to say. Like, how underprepared I was to just be like, this is a kitchen. Like, y'all can just whip something up. But she did. And then I was like, what do I owe you for it? She's like, nothing. So I guess that's kind of the refrain, I would say. Just from starting back in like 2006, it's just been support, people getting excited and support.
Yeah. Everything they said. For me, though, I started this festival to find them and everyone else. And I went to North Carolina, I went to film school, I went to LA for a couple years. I am not the business part of the industry. I love to create, I love to be on set. I was just on set last weekend shooting for Jessica's film, and that's what I love to be. I love to be on set and creating things, and I knew that there were people here doing that. I just didn't know how else to find them. So I was like, let me do a 1-year pass of a film festival, find where they're at, and then that's all I'll do. Here we are 3 years later.
We're like Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all. And then I bring you onto my sets, and then I make movies with you. But yeah, I love to create, and I know that there are people everywhere that want to create something, that have a story, that have something they want to tell, and that's my goal. And I don't know, I think the community, we kind of, like Randall said, we find each other under rocks, and we're like, oh, you like making movies, or you like telling stories, and it just kind of like culminates from there. So it's really cool to find the support. And we shot at Bondwood Cafe last weekend, and I'm the type that I'm like, okay, we're going to be here at this time. We're not going to be in your way. We're going to do this, that, and the other. And they literally did not care. They all sat down and watched.
Oh.
They were super excited. She's texted me a few times after, like, when are we going to be able to see it? Can I come to the premiere? And like, people here want to support something that benefits them, but also brings them entertainment, and that's so cool to see. Because bringing this here has been so beneficial, not only to us as a team, but to Jackson. And I mean, we have films from all over the country. We have people staying in Jackson, and that's really cool. So it's not only just the creative aspect, being able to bring, again, I hated Jackson 10 years ago too. I ran away, went to North Carolina and then California, I didn't come back. But yeah, just bringing that here, bringing what I love here, and finding other people that love it, it's been really cool. Okay. Did we answer your question?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you all answered it beautifully. Now let's go down to individual people, because I have individual questions. So we're going to start with Randall, because both of your features that you've made have been documentaries. So I'm just curious about what are topics that inspire you to cover it as a documentary? Like, what specific ideas like draw you into, oh, I want to tell that story?
There's no simple answer to that. It just comes from me, whatever I'm interested in. Like I said, for a long time, I felt like an oddball here. So it's whatever oddball topics I'm attracted to. I've been into metal music since I was like 11 or 12 years old, and that was something I was bullied for here in school. I was born in Brownsville, the minefield, something that's always been there in the background of my life, but I never understood it, never appreciated it until I was an adult. And that guy was seen as an oddball. One thing I unfortunately couldn't include in the documentary was how many weird conspiracy theories, urban legends have popped up about him. It's actually insane. But he was an oddball, and it just felt like, there was like a emotional connection there where I was like, it wasn't just like, oh, I want to show other people this, although that was a big part of that. It was a journey of discovery of like, I want to know about this. I want to dive deep and take it seriously and depict it the way I see it. And then the same thing for, Death Reigns. It's like the story of the festival was basically the story of my life, being berated by religious people because they didn't understand the art that you enjoyed, trying to shut it down or put you in this box of, whatever label they wanted to put on you, and then, becoming successful anyway. That was something that really resonated with me. So I wanted that story to be out there because there's a lot of places in this country and around the world where they think that that's gone, or they think that that's something in the past. And everyone living here, we know that's just not the case. That's unfortunately still alive and well to be judged just for who you are. And so that, the story of that festival really resonated with me, and that's why I wanted to tell it. So the short answer, I guess that's a long answer, but the short answer is just whatever resonates with me personally is what I make movies about. I'm not interested in what, this is going to sound really selfish, but I'm not interested in what other people are interested in. I'm not interested in like, oh, well, if I do X, Y, or Z movie, with these ideas, is this going to sell tickets and like, get me into somewhere? I don't care. If my heart's not in it, like I'm not getting paid to do this shit. If my heart's not in it, I'm probably not going to finish it. Trust me, I've done some other like stuff that wasn't for me, and like I slogged through it, but like at the end of it, it didn't mean anything to me, and I wasn't proud of it because my heart wasn't in it. So, as long as I'm doing it the way I'm currently doing it, it's just got to really appeal to me and resonate to me, because that's going to be the fuel that drives me to the end of the journey.
Have you sort of already have an idea of like what the next one could be? Like, have you found the topic for the next one?
No, I'm not necessarily actively looking all the time. The two that I did just kind of came about by circumstance. And I'm not going to get into it, but there's been some not great personal stuff happening to me this year, so I've been just kind of in survival mode. So once I get to a place where I can make something else, I definitely will.
And I know we're all going to be looking forward to it.
I appreciate that.
So next is Rachel. You're next on this list. So you mentioned that you teach film at Union as well as also making the film. So I was very curious as if there has ever been a moment where you've felt like that you've had to choose between the two of like, I'm currently teaching, but here's this film that I really want to make. And just, has there ever been a moment where you've just been caught between the two?
I think that's just every day. You articulate, that's such an interesting question because it's on my mind constantly of just the tension. But I do feel very grateful that, like, even as I am like lecture prepping and revisiting things and reminding myself about how all this craft works, like my headspace is still in that. So I feel really lucky that I don't have to like, because everybody else that it's like, you're not getting paid for this, like I totally, neither am I. But it's like, I feel very fortunate that I can maintain sort of like that mentality, even with, the teaching stuff and then getting inspired by students and seeing what they're doing. I had 2 of these films, the one that just showed, if you're watching this, that was a student of mine who made that in the directing class, and I was, really proud of that. And then Thursday night, Mary Vandersteeg had another project that she had also done in the directing class. That's probably my favorite class to teach, and just getting the students inspired and, trying to get them involved in like not just a Union film community, but the Jackson film community at large. So I'm always telling them like sit here and do this and go to this screening and do this other thing. So I do feel that tension a lot, but I'm choosing now to be grateful that the disconnect is not so removed that I can't because for me it's like my brain works in such a way where it's like I'm very much on a train track where it's like I gotta stay in this headspace, because if I derail then it's like if I go into mom mode or something, like and we're being mom right now, and so I'm glad that there's some synchronicity with that.
Has there ever been a film idea that you've heard from a student and you've just been, I want to do that. I want to do that idea, but it's yours, so I'm just going to stay back.
I mean, my students have such great ideas. They're always coming up, and they inspire me like all the time. When they're working hard and I'm feeling lazy, then I'm like, well, I guess I got to do something too. But yeah, no, I feel very fortunate to, again, it's that constant exposure that I get. Like, even if I'm not actively working on my own stuff, I'm listening to them and seeing them get excited, which is very rewarding.
Can I add a question?
Okay.
So you've worked with, you've worked on your own films and had them work on those with you.
Yes.
What is that process like? Are you teaching as you're going, or is this like we are colleagues?
Yeah, that's honestly, it gets more into colleague territory. And so that was actually kind of like something I had to navigate for like, even just like relational reasons, because there's different relationships that you have, like whenever you're someone's professor, and then once they get to be seniors, like now I'm just camp. Like there's this familiar, which I love, and I think that that's great, but there's also just like, I want to be very aware of like, you are paying for this school, like you're like, I really want to take into account like all of that stuff, because it's not cheap. And so I really want to so for example, when I first started teaching, I did one short called Discover, and I really gelled with this one student, and she was my AD, and she was on set, and there was this moment of like cognitive dissonance where I'm sitting there and it's like, okay, we got our schedule, and she was so good at it, and then she's just like, I should probably be studying for a test. And I was like, oh no, like I am your, like, it wasn't for my class, but it was just like this, oh no, like you're, as your professor, yes, go. I'm not paying you. You're not getting class credit. Get out of here. You don't need to be here. Yeah. So then, to make it more like official, the last time I really got students involved was that I did like a practicum, and so they did get class credit for like participating. And so that's something I had to like discover, and then like wheel back on, and then be like, okay, you deserve like compensation, whatever that looks like. Like if it looks, and you get all the credit, you get all of this, but then also you need like class credit for this. And so, but then once we're on set it really does take on more of like kind of a colleague thing, almost to the point where it's like it feels uncomfortable if they're like Dr. Camp, where I'm like, just say Camp, like I don't know, like, I don't know what it is, but it just kind of makes me. And then I'm always quick, like once they're graduated, like you can call me Rachel, it's fine.
We've crossed the threshold.
Right, we've crossed the threshold. Honestly, there's students that I'd be fine with that as well, but then there's the others that I'm not okay with that. So I have to very much be like, if you're a student, please. Dr. Camp or Camp, but once we get past that,
Respect.
Yeah.
Right. Respect.
Cameron, you're next.
Okay.
Because we've spoken multiple times about your connections outside on Twitch and also your Capcom connections and all that. So I was wondering, what is your big goal with working with them?
With Capcom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, good question. First off, thank you. So I've been a nerd my whole life, like Street Fighter, Mega Man, all those games, Capcom specific
Look at your
games.
jacket.
I mean, come on, I got an anime shirt under this, so it's, the proof is everywhere. I'm sorry?
Which anime?
Under the shirt, Trigun. See, you get it.
Classic.
Yes. But to answer that though, so like for me growing up when I was a kid, seeing gaming commercials always pulled me. Like, how are they flying in the sky and then on the couch? Like, what the crap is this? And like, I don't know. It's funny because when I started working with them, I've been streaming on Twitch for, I've been doing like gaming content creation as actually longer than I've been filming. And, I've been streaming on Twitch for a few years. Things been, working pretty well with that. And they were like, hey, if anybody wants to sign up, go for it. And so I did. And I spoke with some of the higher ups. And they're just like, so what can we do to help you? And that like froze me because I was like, they're asking me this question. I thought I had to ask them. They're asking me. And it's like, okay, is the new Street Fighter still coming out? Like, dude, yes. I'm like, so I got a chance to see like behind the scenes of how they did their commercials with that. But just to summarize this question for now though, being able to make either a gaming short film or long film. I don't know if you guys know, but there's actually a new Street Fighter movie in production right now. For some random reason, 50 Cent's in it. I don't know why. He's Balrog. I don't get that, but
That's
whatever.
crazy.
Like, anyways. But being able to do their commercial, at least a commercial or a short film for that company at least, is like a huge goal for mine. Seeing all of this stuff of what they did from gaming, music, movies, and all that, it's like this company isn't just like one thing. There are a plethora of things, and I think that's the whole point of being a creative. It's like, yeah, you can have your individual, genre or subgenres, but inspiration comes from more than just one thing. So I think it's important to express that.
And if they were to call you on Monday and say, hey, we want you to help out on the Street Fighter film, what would your immediate reaction be?
Great answer. Definitely just, wait, what? But it would probably be, I'm just gonna be honest, it'd probably be some cheesy Street Fighter line, like "you win" or something like that. I don't know, just the inner child in me. I'm not ashamed of him anymore, and so like I have no problem as a 32-year-old expressing 10-year-old Cam, hey dude, we did it, bro, we did it. So yeah, that's probably what I would do.
Nice. Jaron, you've created an entire universe of feature films that have been released on streaming. So many movies, such a big universe, and you're currently working on the Betrayal series, which is amazing. Yes. So I just have to ask, how far do you hope to expand that?
Don't know. I guess as long as the demand is there, as far as I see it going into a positive direction. I have so many projects that I want to do that, I see some that work and some that work for me. So I just kind of at a point now where I notice like going to a specific niche is beneficial because there's just so many filmmakers out there. There's so much content. So nowadays people just go to what they like. So if you have a specific niche that works for you, instead of trying to do everything like I used to do, just go for a niche and continue to go toward that niche. And that's been beneficial for me. So I like writing dramas. I like writing crime dramas. So if the ideas keep coming, I just keep pursuing them that way. Yeah.
Is there an idea that you have that is one of those like, oh, this is the big project that I want to do someday, but you just can't do it yet? You have that in your head now, and you're just like, just wait, I'm going to file that away, and we're going to get to that.
Yeah, I have a Western.
Oh,
That's awesome. But that's my dream project.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
And I was this close to attempting it, but to do that right, you got to get the peer pieces are just going to be expensive anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that right without it coming across terrible, I don't want to cut corners on that. So that's going to be something that I work toward trying to produce eventually. But yeah, Western. I would say Western.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my dream project.
You made everyone excited.
Will it be Jay? No, just play.
So for the final individual person, Shelby, you started the Hub City Film Festival as a way to find filmmakers. You mentioned that, and you've obviously found a lot of people here today. So what are your hopes when it comes to this film community? What are your hopes?
Festival-wise, just grow. I mean, not in the sense of like I'm not trying to be Cannes or Sundance or anything like that, but to bring more people into the community is really my intention. My big thing, I went to LA, as I mentioned, and what I've noticed talking to you guys, talking to anyone in the industry that wants to make movies, is that always feels so unattainable. LA feels unattainable, New York feels unattainable, Atlanta feels unattainable. But when you're a creative who just wants to do the thing, I strive to let people know that doing the thing is not as hard as it seems. And there are people who want to help you. I mean, literally, Jessica's film that we did last weekend, she wrote it a month ago, and we were like, I'm bored, let's do it. And we cast it. We talked to Randall. Randall was on board, and I was like, let's just go do it.
Yeah.
And yes, there is the thing of, is there going to be people that are going to watch it? Is there going to be people that are going to like it? But if it's not created, that doesn't matter.
That's right.
And so that's like my big thing is I want to make sure people know that their stories matter and that people will watch them. You just have to create them. You have to go after it. And you can't be Wes Anderson. You can't be James Cameron. You can't be whoever your dream career is without having started in small town Jackson, small town wherever, making the small little films, because their small little films got some of their big films. And that's big for me. And of course I have my own projects that I want to do. But for the, what am I not working on right now? We have a documentary that we are partnering with OJH, our Jackson home, to do. We are getting paid for that, which is great. And you should all be there. It releases in February. We'll make sure you guys are all invited. And then we just have little projects. Anybody that comes onto my team has to make a project within the year. That's an agreement that we've all made. So we have, Eli's got one that he's probably going to do this year. Jessica got hers for the year. So everybody who's on our team, we try to make sure everybody gets their spotlight for like once a year. So I'll probably have one or something like that. But we all kind of migrate to everyone's film, and that's my goal. And if somebody comes to the team, that's what I want you to have your moment. And I'll do that for as many years to come as I want to and as people come in. But that's my goal. And we did a film camp that really just like brought so much joy to me. Again, I, like Randall, I did not enjoy my time growing up here because I felt like an outsider. I felt like somebody with all these grandiose ideas and things that I wanted to accomplish, and everyone looked at me like I was funny.
Yeah.
And so now being able to come back and not only do this, but then find those little kids and the 18-year-olds and the 15-year-olds who have all these big dreams that are like thinking what we're doing is insane. I'm like, just come on set. Right. I don't care. Learn what we're doing. It's so fun and it's so easy, and I don't know, instilling that in people like Olivia, who's right there. She was just a star in our film this past weekend and is now part of the Real Collective. So being able to work with her and then seeing like the spark in her eyes as the camera's rolling and we're all joking around, having a good time. That's the fun of it for us. And after we wrapped, she was like, I want to do anything that you guys do next. And that's like, I get emotional about it because that was me at 18 years old. So being able to do that has brought so much joy to me. And that's just my goal as we continue and then supporting whoever's on our team. So their goals.
Last question from me to the panel before I start opening up to everyone else. It's with how the film industry is just outside of Jackson, just how crazy it is. What is some advice that you give to hopeful filmmakers in Jackson? And we'll start from right to left this time. So starting with Shelby.
What was the question?
What advice would you give to hopeful filmmakers in Jackson?
Just do it. I mean, yeah. And if you don't know how to do it, there are people here that will help you. It all seems scary. It's always going to seem scary. Every film that we've done seems absolutely terrifying. This documentary, Jessica and I cried about it yesterday because we were like freaking out. So it's always going to seem scary. It's always going to seem unattainable. But the community wants to support you. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand. They just know that they go to the movies and they watch a movie, but they want to know. So just doing it and not listening to the fear or letting it drive you, letting it push you forward, I think is what's helped me and I hope helped other people, but just do it. You know, there's like, the longer you sit and wait on a project, the longer you dream about it, time will pass and opportunities will pass and people will pass. So yeah, just do it.
I mean, we'll probably all say some version of that, to be honest, but I'm just gonna quote Mark Duplass: "The cavalry is not coming. It's not. You're the cavalry." And I'm dealing with this right now, like mentally thinking about like this feature that I want to do, but it is not like, say with the Western, it's like, I'm not ready for this yet, but it's like, how do I even get ready? Like, what does that even look like? Like, we're just making this up as we go. Like, this is on the job training of like, there's no manual, there's no path, but also if you're gonna do it, you basically do have to do it yourself, which is why people like Shelby and like this, community are so important, is because like these are the people. These are your people. This is the cavalry, right? Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, it's not gonna be this like this, person in Hollywood that's like, you're a genius, and it's like, finally, it's not, that's not how it works at all. And so just like, I don't know, just be scrappy and get it done.
So good quote. I have another one. This is actually what helped me not just get started in film, but just get started in something. I will never forget this. And the guy said, if it's not scary enough to you, it's not big enough for you. And, I think the most humbling thing, just hearing it in this current moment, is honestly between these two right here is, he's been putting out short films for many, many years. You've been helping with short films and putting them out for many, many years. And they're still intimidated by things. That just shows you that it doesn't matter how long you're doing something. There's always that challenging factor where you got to just go past the walls. And I think it's important for younger people to see that in us, and not only just see it, but us be vulnerable to talk about it. It's cool to look, yeah, I did this, yeah, I did that. But let me tell you the mental battles I was going through as I was doing this. That's the thing that I feel like needs to be shared a little bit more, because it helps people to know that I don't need to look at you and put you on a pedestal. You're just as human as I am. And if you had to go through things to make that impacted me, then that means I'm definitely on the right journey. And I just need to stay consistent.
I would say sort of fixate on the part of the question that dealt with in the context of the industry. Because in my opinion, like fuck the industry. Like, that's not what we have down here. And it's not what we want either. The industry, quote unquote, is how we get stuff like Morbius or lifeless plastic movies like the newest Fantastic Four. That's not what we want down here. So if that's your goal, then I would encourage you, or tell you rather, that that's not where you're going to find your success, and it's not where you're going to find your voice. I didn't have a lot of formal film training, but I felt like I learned a lot about what it means to be a creative from the subject of my first documentary, Billy Tripp, who's never touched a film camera before in his life. But being an artist as old as he was, he knew a lot about being creative. And he didn't necessarily mentor me, but I learned a lot from being around him. And the main thing that I learned is that whatever you make cannot be born from a desire to make money. It cannot be born from statistics or audience screenings. It has to come from inside you. And if it comes from inside you, it will mean something to you, and that means it will mean something to other people. So my advice to anyone wanting to get in this is to really reflect and understand yourself. Look at what you watch, find the things that you enjoy, and understand why you enjoy them, and get to the core of that. Not just like what other people say, oh, the brilliant cinematography, her amazing performance. That stuff is fluff. That's not the core of why you liked it. There was something there deep that hit in your core, and you have to find out what that is. And when you find out what that is, you unlock part of yourself, and that's what will allow you to make what is inside you.
I would just add to all of that, if it's something that you want to do, no excuse will keep you from it. We live in a time now where technology has made it so easy to make a movie. You can make one literally with a cell phone. And I know people now who still talk about filmmaking, but they think they need 20 people on crew and $1,000, $1 million just to do it, and stress over Kickstarters and stuff. I made a feature in one location with $500 with 2 people on my team. If you want to do it, you can find a way to do it. I've never had formal training. YouTube University has been my friend since I started. So if it's, you're gonna suck, but the more you keep working at it, you'll find out what works for you. You hone your craft, but you'll never get to that point, like Shelby said, if you don't start. So if you want it bad enough, no excuse to keep you from it. That's my
I will add a quote. So I worked in LA and did talent management and all this stuff, and they tell you, they told us when we graduated college, you'll never get anywhere if you don't work as an agent or whatever. You got to go through the assistant stuff and all of the trash years that people spend to try to make one movie and maybe get the money and maybe do this and maybe you'll have your turn. Screw that. I came back here because of that. I am a creative and I don't want to work for somebody else's dream to maybe get my shot one day. I did have a lot of great and amazing blessings when I was there. And I got to work with this one actor who we talked a lot about me eventually starting my own company, doing all of that. And the one quote that he said to me, he had passed away shortly after this, that has stuck with me and is the reason why I keep doing all of this every year, was time is the most expensive thing you'll ever spend. We are not promised enough of it to waste it on some days. And I say it like once a week because it's just something that and he was gone like 6 months later. And every time I'm like, and I will say this and don't judge me, every year when I don't want to do the festival, every year when I don't want to do another film, every year when I don't want to do this, that, and the other, I think of that thing, and I think of the projects that I want to do, that I will get to at some point. And we aren't promised enough time to get that stuff done, and the world needs whatever's on your heart, whatever's in your brain. It's there for a reason. Share them and do it and make the little things so that you can make the big thing, because somebody will see something in your little things that will get you to those points. So.
That's right.
So now we're opening up questions to the floor. If you have a question, just raise your hand and I'll point at you. And You can say no, introduce yourself. Yeah. So, any questions for the panel? Must have answered all their questions.
I think I've got a question. I just want to start off by saying thanks to you guys, because it's like this really pours a lot, at least into my cup, and I'm sure other people are getting something out of this. And I think that is about the most beautiful thing that, that's what being human is all about. I mean, it really is. It's filling my cup up. I have kind of like a methodology question in a way. I come from like being creative in a musical way, not in a filmmaking way. But I love seeing all the similarities and all the crossover in the Venn diagram of it all. And I'm really enamored with the patience of a filmmaker, because I have like tactile feedback where I instantly can feel, like I can hear my idea instantly. But there's so much that goes into a movie from point A to the finish line. And I think what I'm really curious about is, where do you get the energy for the patience that is required then? Because I don't have it, or at least I'm not trained. I haven't trained myself to have it. And I find a lot of inspiration in seeing somebody that can spend a year on something and see it through. Like that's so much work that is like outside of my realm of possibility, the way that I see my reality. And I'm just curious about how you think about where your energy comes from, how you fill your own cup during the process. I'm sure the hard days are hard, but like, when does it, how do you get there? How do you get to the end?
Can I jump on this?
And this is kind of a group question.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
As you want.
Yeah, I want to hear what everybody up here has to say. I think for me, it's from a very, very practical methodology standpoint, like I make people hold me accountable. Like I recruit people before I have a script. I probably, and that's not smart, but it holds me accountable. It helps. It does help, and it's trying to enjoy every step of the process, because if I had to choose one realm of filmmaking, because it is such a long process where you're dealing with different mediums all along the way, probably my favorite is editing, which is at the end. And so it's this forcing myself to love these other parts of it, and there's definitely things that I prefer in learning how to love these things. But I think, and maybe this is an unhealthy thing, but it's just where I'm coming from. It's such an identity thing for me that I feel the most like myself when I'm doing it, whatever stage it is. Like once I'm editing, I'm like, this is me. But like even the early stuff, it feels like a vote for my personhood. So it's very integral, and I don't know if everybody feels that way, but it just feels right in that process. And so, but of course there's terrible days. Of course there's days I don't want to do it. Like I'm trying to write a script right now and I don't have it, and so I will also leave encouraged today to just like write a really awful draft.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry about it.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
I guess I'll go. I know some people may want to look at me different after this. That's okay. But I get mine from God. I get mine 100% from God. The way that I simply look at it is He literally is the creator of creation. So why wouldn't I trust Him with what I need to express to people? And, coming off what he said, and I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad. Because when I grew up, being a Christian and being made fun of liking metal, anime, video games, it's like, whoa, I'm in this weird space. But then when I got older and letting go of the shame that a lot of people tried to put on me, you shouldn't be playing games as a grown man, you should be doing it. But I have a very nice house, very nice car, pay all my bills, and I'm just as much of a nerd as anybody else. And so to me, it's like, first off, to each is their own. I'm not gonna, oh, you do, okay, whatever, but this is what I do. And as long as I don't give you lip and you don't give me any, we can still work together. And I think it's important for people to express that more. Because, for example, like how me and Shelby met was a very godly time thing, because I just dealt with the grief of my grandfather being passed back in 2019. And I thought I moved on from it. I really thought I did. And then she came by. She was like, hey, I got this.
Essentially, we met because I had written the script after my aunt passed away. I was really close to my aunt. And that was like, I had no other outlet.
Yeah.
I was going through a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I think I just have to make this project. And I don't even know who tagged you in the post.
It was Gunter. It was Gunter.
It was Gunter.
Shout out to Gunter.
Tagged Cameron, and I was like, I know Cameron. I don't know. He's never done a film. Blah blah blah. We met. I told him the story, and he was like, whoa, whoa.
That's a great
And we were both like, we were both in that grieving process, and it helped so much in putting what we were dealing with into the story, into the script. I mean, shots that I wasn't even thinking of that expressed the grief that we were both going through was very like,
very
I could walk away from the set and I would be like, he's got it, whatever. It's just like connections like that, I think is what you were saying.
But you know, outside of just her expressing that, you know, it's just crazy to know that despite how I choose to live my life, there's somebody that needs help expressing. There's always somebody. And if I have the capability of doing that, that's where I get my joy from. It's not just me being joyful, but seeing that joy come out of others. It's literally why I'm here. So, yeah, that's my answer.
I mean, I'll piggyback off of that. The process, I love every second of the process. I love sitting down. I mean, for me, writing a project and then either keeping it to myself or sending it to these two who put up with me writing a script once a week and being like, what about this one? But that's fun for me and coming up with ideas because I'm like, there's several different universes roaming around in my head all the time. I've written the script today in my head just because somebody said something to me. It's like, I don't know, somebody said something yesterday and I was like, that would be a really good idea. Off in another universe. That's fun for me. Writing it is fun for me and putting pieces of puzzles together. And then being on set is where I thrive. I love being in charge. I'm a control freak. It's great. And then editing is really great. But when I'm working on somebody else's project, the little joys that I see are my favorite part. And I keep referencing Jessica, but her film this past weekend, she was under so much stress, right? Her first film, anytime I knew we were doing good is when I looked over and Jessica was jumping up and down at a shot. Like, I would cry. Because I was like, all right, we're in a good spot, let's move on. That's all I needed.
Yep.
It had happened several times, but then there were also times when she would turn around and yell at me and it's fine. It was worth it. That makes it worth it. When we shot his film last year, it wasn't about, I just want to make this movie and get my name out there. This was a script he'd written 10 years ago that I turned around to him one day and was like, all right, get ready, we're making your film. And I turned back around because I knew he was going to yell at me too, and I was like, we're going to do it. But it's those things that I know people have stories to tell, and even on days where we're yelling at each other, we're mad at each other, it's worth the little moments of joy that I see that happen, and that's why I do it for other people, and then it happens for myself too. So, and it's fun to watch for something so silly and creative, and it doesn't matter, but something within her was released, and that is great, and something with him was released, and that's great for me, and being able to help with that is really the big wins. Small wins, big wins.
You want, or?
Yeah, I guess I would say because patience is something that I'm not good at, and two, I'm an introvert, so I'm good just hiding in my cave if I can do it. But what pushes me past all of that is just the passion, like he said, just having something that you're passionate about, a vision. When you're hungry to complete that, you kind of push past all those barriers until you get to the end line. So I would say that's what drives me through it all. Good stuff.
Yeah, they've pretty much said most of what I had to say as far as passion and stuff. I would like to focus in on something that Rachel said about it being part of your identity. You know, I've wanted to make movies since I was 11 years old and saw The Matrix on TV. Yes, talking about what Shelby mentioned about how people didn't take you seriously. Well, call me when you're famous, don't forget about it, it's kind of like, so that becomes part of it, of like, this is what I've always wanted to do. And if I don't do this, what is there? Like, I don't know what else to do. There's nothing I've ever envisioned for my life other than this. So if I don't do this, there's nothing. And then if I don't do this, like if I'm in the midst of it, I'm shooting it, like especially when I was doing that first one, and the only thing I had was my phone and a DSLR, and I would shoot for 6 hours every day and come home and like hate all of the footage. And like, what kept me going is like, if I give up and I just say, whatever, I tried and, I suck and, I just forget about it, then all those people who made fun of me and who didn't believe me and who said I should go do this, that, and the other, then I'm proving them right. And I was like, at that time, I'm trying to get past this mentality because I don't want to be stuck in it forever. But at the time, in making Death Reigns 2, I was like, fuck those people. I'm going to make the best, biggest thing I can possibly fucking make with my own two hands and no money, and they're going to eat shit. So identity for me is a big part of it, because if I don't do this, then I don't know what else what else my life would be if I didn't do it, because that's all I've ever wanted to be, and when I search myself, it's all I really want to be. So.
And I'll say something again because I like to talk a lot. This is what drives me. Every year, I'm sorry again, I never want to do this every year. Every year I look at Eli, I'm like, does it matter? Should we do this again? And then somebody submits a film. Randall's like, I have a documentary. And I'm like, dang it, we got to show it. And there's people here that are like having ideas. And I'm like, I know what it's like to be in that position. You deserve to be shown and accountability like you talked about. I have friends who don't live in this city, who've never been to Jackson in their life. They're in New York and LA. I get messages from them that are like, keep going, you're doing great. And it's on the days where I'm like, screw every bit of this whole situation. I had friends when I would work on film sets that like, I'm dramatic, so I would like fall to the ground, like, let's end this right now. And I had friends that would literally pick me up by my hoodie and would be like, let's go. And those people still send me messages, and we try to do that for each other all the time. So it's accountability. It's what else do I have to do? I have no passion for anything else. I'm not going to sit at a desk all day and do somebody else's work. What else do I have? I have people that want to tell stories, and I have my own stories to tell. So it's a culmination of, this is the life we wanted, and why not go after it? And I don't know, I really have nothing else that I want to do in life, so.
Can I tell a small story that's like related to
Yes.
what you're talking about? So we for Union, we had our 20th anniversary of our film festival. Weirdly, the school has had a film festival longer than it's had a film major.
Oh.
And so, and it's because of like 2003, YouTube didn't exist. So, but there were students making stuff and they wanted to show it to each other. And so it's like, okay, let's rent a classroom and we'll put it up there or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I have the best students that are part of our little tiny film society that's actually growing, which is amazing. But I feel like I've been like dragging it along for like 4 years now. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're here. And so we were very ambitious. We did a whole day thing, which normally it's an evening thing, but we did a whole day and we wanted to do throwbacks. We're like, okay, we're going to show old stuff. We're going to show something from 2003. We're going to show all the old stuff. And I was like, see, there's no resolution. Like, I was like, this is history. This is educational for you to see how bad this is. But it was like that first block, and it's like 9 a.m. We've done all the things, and there's like me and 2 students. And nobody else was there yet. Now, it did fill out eventually as the day went on, and it's a whole day thing, so people are coming, people are going. But there was just, I felt so positive in that moment, because I like look at them, and I was like, you know what, we deserve this. Like, even if it's just the 3 of us, look at this screen. We're going to enjoy this. This is going to be so much fun. Like, yeah, we deserve this. We worked so hard to put this event together, and the 3 of us are going to have a great time. Exactly. So I felt like that connected.
Yeah, it's going to be the 5 of us and the people in this room making a movie for the rest of Jackson.
Yep.
So be it.
Yeah, we
At least we'll be happy little campers.
Right.
Did we answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, a ton of wisdom, and I love seeing all the different perspectives and appreciate it.
I almost got emotional doing all that.
I got something to add. You the guy that did Takedown, right? Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, you're the guy. It just now pieced together. Sorry. So I actually come from Taekwondo martial arts and stuff. So like seeing the very strong martial art references in it, plus the Rush Hour, love to do. Like seeing, I don't feel like anybody. Someone was like, dude, let's talk about that for a second. Like you with that combined with an actual video game, boom. It's like so. We're gonna have to talk soon.
We can
We
chat.
gotta talk. We gotta talk.
If you guys make an action movie, let me know. I want in on that.
Got you, bro.
You know I'll be there. Don't worry.
I do. Shelby, I actually have a question. Other than Hub City Film Festival, so I'm from Memphis, so I drove up today.
Yeah.
And what else in Jackson is there for filmmakers and people like this who want to get together? And is there any other things that people should know about, or this is it?
No, I say that because that is my goal.
Okay.
The Real Collective is the business, my business, our business that puts on the festival every year. And like I said, my goal is to not only make our short films, but help other people make short films. That's it. You know, if Randall literally came to a meeting one day and was like, I'll shoot your short film. And I was like, sick. And that's just like, that's what we do. And Cameron wants to make a film, like, bring whatever you have to us and I'll help you figure it out. There are tons of filmmakers here, and again, we all came out of the woodworks to find each other, and I'm still pulling teeth to try to get everybody out here. But that's my goal. And if that's what you want to do and you want to come join and hang out with us, we're a crazy wild group. You can watch the live we did earlier this morning.
Gotta bring desserts.
Yeah. The only thing we require is a happy attitude and food. But yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's what we're here for. But there are, like, Jaron does his own stuff, and he has people that he works with, and I'm sure at some point we will work together, even though I've been asking so many.
No pressure.
We're not
But
looking
like,
at you.
there's little production companies like us all over that we collaborate and all that stuff. So really, you just gotta ask us and let us know, because
There's no system.
There's
no
no
studio
system.
system out here.
Yeah,
we're not that cool yet.
I went to school at Bethel University in
Yeah.
Mackenzie, so like I did theater, and there wasn't really film anywhere around here to do, you know. So
Right.
it's cool to see this, you know.
Well, you're welcome anytime. You're part of the club.
Any other final questions? Here, okay. Sorry, you're in first. I'm sorry.
Okay. And Randall, you're about to find out that I can't pronounce other people's names as well. We did a little TikTok about that. But Jaron, did I get it right?
You got it right.
Because I've been knowing him for several years and I still kind of mess up. But anyway, this question comes from a performer's view. What kind of process do you guys go through as far as selecting people to be in things? And if you're doing like a universe, retention of people, or even getting rid of people?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
By me, I'm a writer first, so I have certain things that I look for. And usually when I put out a casting call or something, we look at all the self-tapes. I just had my first actual in-person audition, which was cool, but
Nice.
usually just letting whoever speaks to that character.
Yeah.
And you can kind of say, okay, that's who that is. That's who that is. A lot of casting, at least for me, if I cast one person here, the scene partner has to match. So I've had instances where I've had an actress that I loved, but all her options for her husband totally didn't match her. So I would have to either not cast her and find somebody else to match the only options I have here. So it's a lot of things that go into that sometimes is out of your control. I've had a lot of people that I had to send a rejection to. It was like, look, this is the hardest rejection I've ever had to do because I really love you. I just couldn't fit you in here and there. So a lot of that to me is fit and authenticity. I want people to see the casting choices like, wait a minute, that person would never be with that person. Wait a minute, like that they don't look nothing alike. It's stuff like that. So a lot of that just works with fit and authenticity when it comes to casting for me personally.
And you, sir, you had a question.
Mine feeds off of his a little bit.
Okay.
As filmmakers, how do you go about finding actors? Because we're out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, and it's basically about the same size as Jackson, very close. And I feel like every time I have a project written looking for actors, can't find anybody, or we'll find somebody that says they're interested, and then like when it's time to film, no, can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the pool that we're pulling from in that area or what, but
It is like pulling teeth. It's definitely like pulling teeth. We've had luck a little bit with going to actor studios out of Memphis or Nashville. And then also just kind of sometimes throwing Eli in a short or something and doing what we can with that. But something else that I have found is, I don't know what the market is there, but theater people are way more interested in film than you think. And because theater is so accessible in a lot of different towns with local theaters and things like that, that's what they gravitate towards. But because they don't know that there's a film, whatever, here and there, that's what they're going to do. The second we were like, do you want to be in a movie? Yeah, I do. I for sure do. And obviously, I've been waiting for you to ask. And obviously that'll take, like, it depends on what you're working on, but definitely dialing down the theater aspect of putting them in film. It's hard, but I would start there maybe. But we'll connect. I have a huge database of actors, and I just add as I meet people. I guess we'll maybe have to take it by state. We'll make an Arkansas one maybe. We can just grow our whole database for across the country. But
that's it.
But I would start with theater people are a lot more interested than you probably think, because for a couple of years I thought they wouldn't be. They're very interested. They're very interested. I mean, they want to be on stage in the spotlight. They definitely want to be in front of a camera. So maybe there. And then, I mean, it depends on what you're casting too. But yeah. And I did. Anybody else have?
Well, mine kind of.
I'll handle that. Sorry.
My question first is, what do you guys normally post to do cast outreaching?
Well, we do like the backstage stuff like that. The problem we have there usually is they're like 5, 6, 7 hours away, and we're not really in a position to pay sometimes. So it's like, man, I can't get you to come all the way that far. And then some people are willing to do it.
Yeah.
But sometimes we just don't have enough cast members, so we have to cancel a project, put it on hold for a little bit. But that's usually what we have to look. But we tried some stage people, and I guess they just get a little afraid at first, which is gonna happen. But most of it's backstage, stuff like that.
I've posted on Facebook as well. I know that sounds crazy, but I've posted on Facebook and Instagram. And
yeah, honestly, if I didn't know somebody, I'd find a forum on Facebook, which I've been on Facebook for a very long time, but it's like the only reason I don't totally delete it is that I'll reactivate. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Facebook for sure. Honestly, I mean, this is just like, I just want to say a piece about actors. They're so important. They carry the project. Like, anybody that doesn't recognize that is like, it's not a great set to be on, because actors are absolutely like the tone and the lifeblood, and like it doesn't matter how great the framing on this shot is or how in focus it is. If I don't believe that person, I know, so like actors are totally, I don't know, like I can't even think of the word right now, but we don't respect actors enough, I guess I would say it that way. And so I'm constantly, when I'm directing, I'm like collaborating with them and like deferring of like, well, how would you feel like this needs to be said? Because you're an actor, I'm not an actor, like, so. But I guess from a practical standpoint, I would say Facebook. But honestly, because it is so difficult, I just kind of keep recasting the same people that like I've known for 20 years at this point. So, which is, you know, could be good, could be bad, but it's also like, I think a lot of it does come out of like relationship and having that rapport. So I'd almost be more tempted to like try to teach someone to act that you're close with.
You know, honestly, I'm gonna alley off her is, I've been in both scenarios when not doing my own projects just yet, but I've helped with I've been a DP for a lot of directors. Oh my gosh, even outside of the state. And the biggest thing that I would say is, it's not just the casting call scenarios on social media, but like she said, find these people. Sometimes you gotta just meet people where they're at, and sometimes just get the opportunity to just see how these people are. Fun fact, I was hired to look for voice actors, and I was filming at a school, and the dean, I was like, has anybody ever thought about you being a voice actor? And he's like, that's so funny. I've had 2 people ask me this week. And I'm like, thank you. Hey man, are you interested? And
I love doing that too. It's like, listen.
Perfect. And it's like, this guy is like, he's in his 60s. And so like, he's thinking like, oh, I'm washed up, you know. No, dude, you're perfect, bro.
Oh.
And it's like, I didn't do a casting call. That was like specifically for that person. And I feel like, me trusting God with how I find people, and once again, there's multiple ways of going about it, but it's like, for me, I really enjoyed that process. And of course, you can always have great experiences with casting calls, but you know, just randomly going out one day or doing a project, and I see this person kind of has this aesthetic, I'm like, yo, what's your name? Oh man, I'm Tony, brother. What you need? Like, it's him right there. That's him. Yo, dude, are you? And it's like, I've never been asked that before, and then boom, that's what we're doing. So it's just,
yeah.
I would say be more courageous to find those people, and just like I quoted earlier, if it's not scary enough to you, it ain't big enough for you. Sometimes these people, it's not the fact that they can see the potential, you see it in them, and it's your job as a director, as the DP, to bring it out of them. And like she said, after you work on those relationships and that rapport, most of the time they are going to want to come back, and because you were able to meet them where they were, there wasn't a level of requirement, years of knowledge and skills. They're just like, hey, what do you need me for? And these people are more likely to adapt to what you need versus just a flat out casting call. So that's my answer.
We gave you all the answers.
Absolutely.
But also know that if you ever need help, we are here to help you in that. We do, casting is part of what we do, so if you ever need that, we can help with that.
So, are there any other final questions? Because we have gone over time and it's almost 5 o'clock. So
We talking good, yo.
if there are no more final questions, thank you so much to our panelists. Thank you, Jaron. And thank you so much for showing up to the panel. We are going to be having the award ceremony for the festival at 6 tonight. So
See you in an hour.
until then, thank you so much.
Bring it up, bro. I'll bring it up.